I'm going to explain spiral dynamics to you using a pufferfish. As you know, pufferfish are like onions. As they grow, their past selves, smaller versions of themselves, become trapped inside, and then layers form as new versions of themselves expand around them. So when you are growing as a pufferfish, there are two ways of being. Either you can be spiky and you can poke everybody with your sharp pufferfish spikes as you look at the small pufferfish and you think, ha, I don't remember being small, I've always been a large pufferfish. Or you can remember the versions of yourself that are still trapped inside yourself. And so when you look at these smaller pufferfish swimming around, you can remember that once you were small too. And occasionally when your air gets popped out of you and you shrink back, you become small again and you remember to have some humility. So here's some spiral dynamics. This is how it goes. It moves between me and everybody, and me and everybody, and me and everybody. It starts off with beige, which is basic survival mode. And when you are in basic survival mode, you aren't thinking much about the meaning of life. It's like the hierarchy of need. It is just survival. So don't try having these conversations with people who are just trying to get from day to day. And once you have settled into a secure base or a tribal system or a family unit, you become this lovely purple colour. And when you are the best at being purple, you are fully invested in your unit, in your tribe and in your people and in your family, until you get to the point where you've lost sense of who you are as an individual because you're so used to thinking about the small group of people around you. And what needs to happen at this stage is the embrace of the red colour, which is your ego. Then you find the Spice Girls and the Kardashians and you wear bright colours and you think it's okay to have what you want and to say what you want and to say what you like and to remember that you are a human with your own beautiful, unique identity. Sometimes it can go a little bit too far and you start robbing banks because, you know, you're worth it. And then you maybe need saving from yourself, and the people who come along and save you are these institutions, organised religion, people who come along and say you've forgotten the world around you, you focus so much on yourself, and what you need now is order and somebody to tell you what is wrong and what is right, what is good and what is bad, what to do and what not to do. And this, coming from an advanced red stage, can be really useful until you get to the point, do you see it coming, where you have lost yourself to this institution. You have forgotten who you are. You have forgotten that you're worth anything because you're so used to serving everybody else. And then along comes orange in the form of Charles Darwin and Steve Jobs and the iPhone and a nice car and a nice little house, and going, yeah, I gave all of myself to this institution and I lost myself, but I'm worth it and I'm going to find myself again. And what happens? You start to miss community. You've gone so far into focusing again on your own identity that you're missing the world at large. And then you start realising how terrible it is to use single-use plastics because the world around you is suffering. And you get to this place of going, oh, I don't even know what the right thing to do is. There's so many different ways of seeing things because I've stepped back from these smaller bubbles into this larger kind of world-based space. And you start to kind of remember, oh, but the blue was pretty good because I got stuff done when I was in that phase. If someone was in trouble, we'd get organised with a soup kitchen and we'd go and start a prison ministry and we'd go and save the red people. But what do I do now as green? And you start to realise that all of these things flow into each other and that, like the pufferfish, all of those little rings are still there inside us, and they are all valuable and they are all beautiful. And we should never look at any of these colours and judge them because they're all just part of us as we grow. So the lovely thing that I like from the spiral dynamics model is that it reminds us that movement through life is important and it's beautiful. It helps us judge our past selves less, and it helps us judge those people who are versions of our past self less, because to love them is to love ourselves. So remember, don't be a spiky, angry pufferfish. Be a nice, loving pufferfish onion.